Hi, Pastor Nathan with your hashtag Better Together devotion for today. Click like, share, follow all those wonderful buttons that you can so that you don't miss out on these on a daily basis. So this week, I want to talk specifically about how change takes place and who we are as we develop, as we grow. One of the things about the Christian faith is that we have an emphasis on going onward, moving forward, working on our salvation, the process of sanctification. All the tribes and denominations have some form or way of saying that change and transformation is supposed to happen in a faith. We develop, and that is to say that we are not the same today as we were yesterday. We should be closer to God, closer to one another, closer to understanding more about this. And that got me thinking about some of the deep theologies and deep understandings of faith. In the biblical text itself, the Bible is not one uniform theological document. In fact, it covers so many years and so many different theologies that even within individual books, sometimes you will have a variety of competing voices talking about and expressing their understanding of God and things that we believe in. So this week, I thought we would unpack some of that. So one of those is the concept of Sheol and the development that goes towards to becoming the modern understanding of hell. You know, when you look at the biblical text in the Bible, especially within the New Testament, hell's not mentioned that much. And in the overall context of the Bible, the afterlife or the concept of the afterlife is not mentioned a whole lot. You first start hearing about it in the Old Testament, specifically there in the Psalms, where the concept of Sheol takes place. Sheol being a Hebrew concept where all the dead went. And there was not a division between those who had lived righteous lives and those who had lived unjust or unrighteous lives. It was just the place where all the dead gathered. And you hear that in the Psalms whenever the psalmist says, "Even if I make my bed in Sheol, there you find me, God." Well, this concept of Sheol is not totally dissimilar from the concept of other groups within the ancient world, such as the Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, Hades was a place where everyone went. All souls went there. It didn't matter if you were good, bad, or ugly. You went there. There are only a couple of stories that have to do with punishment even, or with reward. And so this concept of a dual nature of the afterlife comes much later. It develops much later. And by the time we get to Jesus walking on the earth, we still have some of that development taking place. And so you hear Jesus talk about Abraham's bosom, for example, is one of the phrases that's used for a place where someone is experiencing reward in the lake of fire or the place of torment, Hades, Gehenna. There's all these other terms that are used for the other. The emphasis I want to say here is that this understanding of the afterlife didn't start the same places where it has ended. And perhaps maybe, we are still, through the Holy Spirit and through the biblical text, still discerning about the afterlife and understanding more about the concept of what's going to take place after we die. I love the fact that the Apostle Paul was very much trying to unpack this among early Christians when he said that, it's going to be totally different. And we can't even begin to understand this. The mortal body must put on immortality. The perishable body must put on imperishability. He talked about it from a place of deep respect and comfort and pastoral understanding. So, as you think about and as you go about reading in terms of things that are in the Bible, I invite you to let me know, what are some things that you think, when you've read the Bible, you're going, what's going on here? Or has this concept changed? Something developed here? And think about your own life, in your own places in your life where you used to believe this, but now that has changed and evolved because you've matured, grown closer to God, and more revelation has taken place. I invite you to share that. Comment below and let me know what you think. And be better together.